everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd do this little series of get to know videos so that you could get to know me and the rest of my family. I share a lot of my life online, but actually I don't really share that much about me as a person, so I thought I'd start with a video about me, and I'm going to answer 50 questions. And over the next few weeks I will be sharing the videos of each of the members of my family as well. If you want to get to know me and my family more or follow our journey here in Uganda, then please do subscribe to our channel. And yeah, anyway, I will get started with this video. So question number one is, what is my full name? My full name is Emilie Robert Mary Lata. Emilie is spelled with an I-E because my mum is half French and that is the French spelling. Robert was my mum's name, so my grandmother's name, and Mary was my dad's mum's middle name. Question number two is 3 things that I love. So I love chocolate, I love cuddles, and I love swimming. 3 things I fear are the dark. I'm actually really scared of the dark and I can't go anywhere by myself in the dark. Spiders, absolutely hate them. And I guess death of loved ones. You know, I think that's probably the same as a lot of people's. Something I ate today, I had Marmite on toast for breakfast. Number of siblings, I have 1. I have a younger brother, he's 4.5 years younger than me. His name is Adam. I did not name my son Adam after him, it just so happens that they've got the same name. He has actually visited us out here twice, and he was last here for Christmas 2018. So he has met Adam and he has met George and he has met Tally, and he's the only member of my family to have met any of them. Question number 6 is number of countries visited, and I believe I have visited 25, including England and Uganda. Okay, dream holiday destination. This is really hard. I've always loved to travel and I've always had a huge list of places I'd like to go, but actually since having kids I really want to go to Orlando and go to Disney. Actually I watch people going there, like other people's vlogs going there, and it makes me all teary. I know that's really sad, but I really would love to take my kids and go to Disney. There is a really noisy bird outside, I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, favourite movie. This is really hard and I wasn't really sure, but there is an old film that I've always had at the top of my list that I've always really loved, and it is actually a subtitled film, and it's called Life is Beautiful, and it's all about the Second World War and a Jewish father and his son going to live in a concentration camp, but his father makes it all out into be sort of like a game for his son to shield him from the truth. It's really sad but funny as well, and it's really old now and I don't know if I'll ever manage to persuade Josh to watch it. But yeah, I really like Life is Beautiful. My favourite song, I don't think I have one. That's really hard. It depends what kind of mood I'm in. I love relaxing, quiet, acoustic kind of music, but I also love sort of musical theatre and all sorts of things, so I really can't pick a favourite song. Question number 10 is what my significant other likes most about me, and I have absolutely no idea. Josh, maybe it's the culture, or maybe it's just Josh's personality, but he's not very vocal in his affections, and so I don't know the answer to that question. Everything. Someone I love, I don't know, my kids, my boyfriend, my family, I don't know. Someone I miss, I'd probably say my parents. Hi mum and dad. Something I miss from my childhood, that's got to be my childhood dog Ben. He was a border terrier and oh my gosh, he was my best friend, my absolute best friend, and he passed away in 2012, and honestly I still get really upset about it sometimes. He was honestly such a big part of my life as I was growing up. And actually the last pictures of him I have me carrying him through what were the Christmas tree fields by my house, and actually my parents have since moved house into a house that was built in those Christmas tree fields. But yeah, he was the best dog ever. Question number 14 is something I got in trouble for as a child, and something I distinctly remember was when we were having, I think it was a roast dinner, and my parents left the room and I decided to pour the meat gravy into their bottle of red wine. I don't know why I decided to do that, and then they confronted me and my brother and was like, who's poured gravy in the wine? And I was like, wasn't me. And then they said they were going to send the wine back to Waitrose or wherever it was from, and if they did a test on it and it turned out it had meat gravy in it, we'd be in big trouble. So then I admitted it. But yeah, I think I spoiled a perfectly good bottle of wine. Okay, 3 things that annoy me easily. Josh not communicating or calling me. When I've got dirty feet, which is an awful thing to annoy me in Uganda because I get dirty feet as soon as I leave the house. I hate the feel of dust on my feet. And third thing,
Mommy.
being interrupted when I'm busy.
This is you.
What?
Okay.
But Mummy's answering questions. What else annoys me easily? What annoys Mummy? When does Mummy get cross?
Because Adam is susu.
Oh yeah, it annoys me when Adam susus on Mummy's bed.
No.
When Adam susus on Mummy's bed. Okay, next question is, what is the last text message I sent? Adam, it's going to be impossible now. I'm checking what the last message I sent was. And it was... I said to Josh that I'm out of internet and I can't do any work. So I was asking him basically... I was asking if he could get me some more internet. Next question is, what is my favourite animal? And that is a really hard question. I absolutely love dogs. I would probably say dogs, but I also love horses, although I never really see them anymore. And then in terms of wild animals, I love like the big cat family and apes, and yeah, to be honest, I've always loved animals, so that's a really hard question. Next question is something that is worrying me, and the answer to that is definitely money. We are struggling a lot with a lot of things at the moment, and I know a lot of people all over the world have financial stress, but yes, definitely money. It was worrying me and Josh every single day.
I have new socks.
This video is going to be a lot longer than I planned. Oh no, there's another one. Mummy can't get any peace around here, can she? What? I just found Josh's hair, Josh's dreadlocks on the floor. What is, oh, there's another one. I've got all three children here now. How am I going to get anything done? Hey? If you're going to be here, guys, you have to be quiet so I can finish answering these questions. But this is a good representation of my life. Take that plastic out your mouth.
Mommy.
Adam is obsessed with socks, loves socks. That's why he's holding a pair. Okay. Shh. Question number 19. No clapping. Help. Question number 19 is an embarrassing moment. And my most embarrassing moment, well, I've probably had quite a few, so I wouldn't say my most. But one that comes to mind is I took economics for GCSE. Absolutely no idea why. Definitely not my sort of subject. But when I came to taking my actual exam, I was walking into the examination room, you know, in front of the hundreds of people that are in the exam. Tally, Adam. And I managed to slip and fall over before I got to my table. Obviously, that was really embarrassing because all these people sitting silently at their desks saw me. And so I stood back up, embarrassed, took another few steps and fell over a second time. Oh my goodness, I was a teenage girl, a 16-year-old girl, or whatever, 15, 16, however old I was, falling over twice in the main hall in front of all my classmates. Probably not surprising that I did not pass my economics GCSE and I got a U. Question number 20 is, what are my future goals? And I have lots of future goals. Number 1, to finalise all adoptions and get my family to the UK. I would love to earn a living in a flexible enough way that I can travel with my family. That would be absolutely ideal. I've always loved the idea of getting an RV or a camper van and travelling with my family and my dogs that way. Adam! Other future goals are... I wanted to say to grow my family even further, but oh my goodness, I can hardly deal with these children. I'd also love to have a successful charity running a successful school here in Uganda. Next question is what I did yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I was finishing, you guys, I worked with you two on the iPad at night, didn't I? I was also finishing up the website, trying to do a update of the charity website. I don't that often leave the house, so I was doing a lot of work from home. Okay, my biggest achievement, the easy thing to say would probably be becoming a mum, but I feel like I didn't really achieve becoming a mum. It just happens to be, what I am, I'd say my biggest achievement is when in 2014 I summited Mount Kilimanjaro. I have never been very fit or healthy or sporty or anything, and it is the first huge physical thing that I really achieved, and it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. So, something I would like to learn, I've always wanted to learn another language. My mum is half French and that side of the family's all French, and now obviously all these lot are Ugandan and no Lusoga, but realistically I'm terrible at languages. I don't pick up on them at all. My mum's been speaking French my whole entire life and I really don't know any French. So actually I'd say I'd really like to learn how to do proper sort of like photography and videos and proper video editing. That's the sort of thing I'd really love to learn. My favourite childhood memory, I think it has to be dancing with my dad. I remember many evenings we had this big mirror above the fireplace, and he'd put on Michael Nyman, which he really liked, and he would dance with me in front of the mirror. And then I remember when my brother was born, he'd had to do it with me and my brother, and he'd hold one of us in each arm. Okay, my favourite colours, probably black. I also like red.
Purple.
Yours is purple. I'm not asking you though, babe. This is not your video. You're trying to steal my spotlight, my limelight. Adam, this is what I've got to deal with. My favourite drink, I love tea and coffee, but I also love, and don't ever drink it here, is sparkling water with elderflower cordial. So I can't wait to drink that when I'm back in the UK. My favourite ice cream flavour has got to be mint choc chip. My favourite quote is a real cheesy one, and it's mountains are there to be climbed, and I like it both figuratively and literally because I really want to climb all the other mountains in the world and believe they're there for us to climb. And yes, this lifestyle of ours is definitely a mountain, or many mountains that we are having to climb, and yeah, very cheesy quote, but I do like it. So my favourite town or city, I used to say Barcelona, and I still do love Barcelona. Since I've been in Uganda and not in the UK, I've realised how much I really love London and I miss London. So I'd probably say London is my favourite city. Question 30 is dog or cat person, and I am a dog person all the way. I've had dogs my whole life and I absolutely love dogs. I don't mind having cats around the house. I have cats now and I've always had cats in the UK, but yeah, absolutely love dogs. Who is the first person I call when something exciting happens? I say it's sometimes my mum, but it's usually my dad, like on adoption day when this adoption finally went through. My dad was the first one I called. Then who is the person I call when something horrible happens is definitely my dad, as my dad usually keeps calm and helps solve the situation, whereas my mum is more emotional like me. Any tattoos? Yes, I have 3 tattoos. I got one in Thailand, which is on my finger, and that is a T in Thai. I got that done in Thailand for about £6 or something. I got that done in 2011, and it's for my friend who passed away because her name was Tammy, so it's T, and she was half Thai, so I thought that was all quite fitting. I also have 2 on my feet. I have a mountain and a wave of the ocean, which I got them done actually in Uganda, and yeah, just generally because I love the ocean and I love mountains. What is something that amazes me? I want to say water, but I know that's a really weird answer, but I've just always been so fascinated by water. But I'd also say I think it's just amazing how kids grow so quickly. Oh my goodness, these 3, it just amazes me every single day. Like, I can't believe how much they progress and change all the time. The next question is, how far away from my birthplace do I live now? I was born in Carshalton in London, and let me check, I'm not sure how far away that is. So that is 6,309 miles away. The next question is, how many relationships have I been in? And the answer, including the one I'm in now, is 3. Am I a morning person or a night owl? A night owl for sure. I do my best work in the evenings. I am a terrible morning person. What is the last thing I watched? Last night we started watching the Love is Blind series. It's not normally the sort of thing I watch, but I saw a lot of people talking about it, and we watched 2 episodes last night. The best news I ever received, that was probably when the adoption was granted last July. And the worst news I ever received was probably when my best friend died when I was 15 years old. Would I rather go bungee jumping or skydiving? I have done both. I actually really hated bungee jumping. I did the worst jump ever. I was absolutely terrified and I did not enjoy it, and I was actually really ill afterwards for quite a while. Skydiving, on the other hand, I absolutely loved, and I would love to do it again and again and again. Am I religious? Not at all. I am an atheist through and through, and yes, I get that from my dad, and I'm not religious even a little bit. What is hard about being a parent? Keeping my patience. Extremely hard, and I do lose it a lot, let's be honest. Something I've never done but I'd like to try. I've always thought I'd like to try and go skiing, but realistically I think I will not enjoy it, as I probably won't be able to do it at all. I'd also like to try birthing a baby. These three are amazing, but I also would like to try going down the biological route as well. I'm also not sure if it's actually for me, if I'm honest. I really think adoption is amazing, but it's something that I'd like to try. I think you can't really try it once you do it or you don't do it. What makes me cringe about how I'm like my dad? I'd say I can be a bit controlling. What makes me cringe about how I'm like my mum? And that's probably that I have a tendency to nag a lot. How am I glad that I'm like my dad? I'd say that I love my kids fiercely, and I really would do anything for them, and I would support them no matter what, just like my dad does me and my brother. How am I glad I'm like my mum? I am a very emotional person, and my mum is too. She likes to pretend she's not anymore, but she is, and I feel like all the decisions I've made in my life I wouldn't have made if I wasn't so emotional. Thank you for hitting me in the face. The last person I hugged, Adam. So the last question is, if I won £1 million a day, how would I spend it? And number one, I would absolutely, I mean, £1 million doesn't go as far as I guess you think it would, so I can't go around buying hundreds of properties or something. But first, I'd absolutely finish up these adoptions and get my whole family to the UK. I'd also love to put a lot into my own charity and build us a school here. I'd give a good chunk back to my parents, because my parents have supported me an awful lot over the last few years. If I could, I'd buy a house in the UK, and I'd love to invest in some good camera gear and go travelling. Anyway, this has not gone quite as I expected it to. I did not expect my children to be here disturbing me the whole time, but I hope you've gotten to know me a little bit better. You've gotten to know what my day usually looks like anyway. And thank you for watching if you've watched this far. And yeah, I'll see you again next time for a get to know Adam video.
Saw you from across the room.